to my channel. So tonight's video, as you can tell by the title, is a bake with me video. So I feel like I've pretty much spent the whole of this quarantine period in my kitchen, which I'm not complaining about. I flipping love cooking and baking, and it's been a great way to spend my time. We're in the kitchen tonight, and it's my dad's birthday on Friday, and then on Sunday it is Easter, so I decided it was the best time to make a cake. That's what I'm going to do tonight. I am making a vegan and gluten-free chocolate cake. I just wanted to like try out this recipe. Normally I would just make like a normal kind of like cake from a box because it's easy and quick and tastes good, but I felt like healthifying it a little bit, trying out something more experimental and a bit new. So it is currently Wednesday night, and I'm going to start off baking tonight and then finish it off tomorrow. Basically you have to make the frosting the night before so as it has time to like harden up, and then I also want to make like healthy Snickers bars to put on top as well, because one of my dad's favourite chocolate bars anyway is a Snickers. That's the plan. So tonight I'm going to make the Snickers decorations to go on top and the frosting, and then I will be back tomorrow to make the actual cake. So yeah, I suppose without any more blabbering, we will just get into the baking. So for the healthy Snickers, I'm using a recipe off Instagram from a girl called Beachside Kitchen. I'm going to start off by making the date caramel for the Snickers. So what you'll need for that is 1 cup of soaked dates, 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, 1 teaspoon of maca powder, a pinch of salt, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of water if needed. And then basically you just need to blend all of this up. Just to clarify, you need to soak your dates for about 15 minutes and then drain them before you add them to the blender. That is finally blended up. Things I'm realising during this lockdown is how bad I need a food processor, because I swear to goodness the Nutribullet just does not do the job sometimes. Okay, this is gonna be difficult. Once you've got your date caramel, it took a while, I'm not gonna lie, to get it blended in here, and then by the time I got it transferred into the bowl and everything and then cleaned my Nutribullet, it took a while. But if you have a food processor, that'll be a lot quicker for you. I just don't have one. Once you've done that, it's time to move on to the cookie base, and you will need 3/4 cup of oats, but you actually need oat flour, which I don't have, so I'm just making my own. So basically what you do to make oat flour is just whiz up some oats in a blender. Super easy. These actually aren't gluten-free oats because we aren't gluten-free, but if you are gluten-free you can just use gluten-free oats to make it gluten-free. Then to your oats you just need to add 1/3 a cup of the date caramel that we just made, and we blend again. It says to pulse, so I assume that's do it for like short bursts. What you're looking to get is a crumbly but sticky dough. Oh my goodness, all the oats are sitting at the top. This is not good. Right, we're gonna need to try and get these to drop off before we lift the lid off, or they're all just gonna go everywhere. Okay, phew! Crisis averted. Then we just need to transfer it to a cookie tin, which I don't have, so I think we're going to use something else. I'll decide that now. I think I'm just going to use like a takeaway tub. I feel like that'll be fine because it's a no bake thing. So that's what we're going to go with. And we just press the cookie base into the pan and then put the caramel on top. place that in the freezer to harden for 1 hour. And while that's hardening, I'm going to move on to the chocolate frosting for the cake. For this vegan chocolate frosting recipe, all we need is 1.5 cups of coconut cream and 3 cups of vegan chocolate chips. So that's what we have here. This recipe is from the Beaming Baker. Let's just get started. So I'm just adding the chocolate chips here into a glass bowl so as I can melt them over a double broiler. These smell great and I am so tempted to eat them, but the last time I ate cooking chocolate I had the most sore stomach for about 4 days, so I sort of learned not to do that. Okay, that was amazing. That was basically like the perfect amount. I feel like I should have added them 1 cup at a time because that feels like that's just not going to melt now. But we're going to give it a go anyway. Minor blip, we are back on track and the chocolate is melting. Okay, so now that the chocolate is all pretty much melted, we're just going to add our coconut cream. Once we have added together our chocolate chips and our coconut cream, we just need to whisk them together until we have a smooth mixture. Oh, I always dread this. Oh my goodness, I haven't even switched on. So I would say that mixture is looking pretty smooth. It looks like it's not, but I'm pretty sure that's just air bubbles in it. But now we just need to put that in the fridge overnight and let it set into a chocolate frosting. I've basically just cleaned up all the dishes that I made, and now I'm gonna go and grab the Snickers bars out of the freezer. Oh, they're already looking so good. Wonder is that caramel hardened? Oh, not quite. Okay. I'm just gonna leave that in there for a little bit longer because the caramel is still kind of soft and I'll need to cut them up to cover them in chocolate. So I will come back and either do it in a little while or do it tomorrow. Hello guys, so it's the next morning now and I'll hopefully be a little bit more energized this morning. I was, as you could probably tell, pretty exhausted last night. I had been up, so I started baking, I think it was after 7:30, and I had been up from like 3 in the morning. So how many hours is that? 12, 4, 16 hours? That doesn't seem like that long. I don't know, but I was tired anyway. So I'm just going to finish off my baking of the cake today, but the first thing I'm going to do is finish off the Snickers bars because I ended up not going to bed, or I ended up going to bed not long after I last checked them and they hadn't frozen over completely yet. So I'm just going to cover them in chocolate now and then I'll move on to the cake. So as you can see, it's like hardened now, it's not all squishy the way it was last night. This is the inside of our Snickers, and then I'm just going to cover them with this 70% dark chocolate from Hotel Chocolat. It is vegan. Sometimes I'm just not 100% sure with dark chocolate. I personally am not vegan. I just like to avoid dairy as much as possible, just because if I have too much it like hurts my stomach, whereas like if there's a bit of dairy in chocolate it doesn't bother me at all. Anyway, this one is vegan and this is what I'm going to use to cover our healthy Snickers bars. To melt this chocolate, I'm just going to put it in the microwave rather than over the double broiler, just because it's a bit easier and I can't really be bothered with all that this morning. Oh my goodness, I thought the camera's going to fall there. I can't really be bothered with all of that this morning because I have to get on and do the cake anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to melt this in the microwave and chop these up into small little squares that I can cover in chocolate. Okay, it might be easier to do it this way. It's also a lot more solid than I expected it to be, on the bottom anyway. But it is slowly but surely coming apart. Okay, so there we have all the mini Snickers chopped up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little pieces. And I'm gonna melt this chocolate bar now to cover them. I don't know if this will be enough, but if not, I'm gonna grab another chocolate bar. So here we have our chocolate and our Snickers, and now it's just time to coat them. So that chocolate bar actually only managed to cover 3 and a bit of the Snickers, so we're definitely gonna have to get another one for the rest. Okay, so I don't have any plain chocolate left, so I'm just gonna have to use some of this pistachio bar from Lidl. It basically just has little bits of pistachio in it, so I think I'm gonna use 4 or 5 squares of this, and into the microwave she goes. Here we are into the chocolate. These actually look incredible. Okay, so I covered them all in chocolate, didn't have enough to cover one, and I couldn't be bothered to melt more chocolate for one. So that can just be a wee naked one. But now I'm just gonna put these in the fridge to set and get on with the cake. Okay, so the cake recipe I'm using is also from the Beaming Baker, who the frosting recipe is from. And for this recipe, you will need 2 batches of her vegan chocolate frosting, which is what we made yesterday. Then 3 cups of gluten-free oat flour, made the same way I made them yesterday for the Snickers. As I said, ours aren't gluten-free, but you can obviously sub them if you need gluten-free ones. 1 1/3 cups of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda or bicarbonate of soda because they're the same thing, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That is all your dry ingredients. Then for your wet ingredients, I think coconut sugar is a dry ingredient, but according to this it's a wet ingredient, so I'm just following this recipe. So you need 1 1/4 cups of water, 1 cup of non-dairy milk, 1/4 cup and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 1/2 cup of coconut sugar, 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, so she says preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's around 180 degrees, and we'll do the low oven because we need two levels. Then we need our cake tins. Oh my goodness, there is an actual spider in that. Okay, so once you've got your nice and clean spider-free cake tins, what you need to do is, so she says use 2 9-inch round cake pans, but I only have 8-inch, so they'll have to do. You coat them with softened coconut oil and then dust completely with cocoa powder. Whoops. Whoops. So these have a hole in the bottom, and I've just got cocoa powder all over the floor. What an absolute disaster I am. So once we've cleaned that up, we'll get on with actually making the cake. So basically, yeah, once you've done that to the pans, just set them aside, clean up your mess, and then get on with the rest. Once we're all clean, we need to sift together our dry ingredients, including the oat flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. now we're going to add them to our dry ingredients. Do a bit of a clean before we do that, I think. So in our wet mixture goes to our dry mixture. It actually smells incredible. Like, oh my word, am I okay? Look at that. Doesn't even look as bad on the camera. But anyway, our ingredients are mixed, and I suppose that's what's important right now. Okay, so once we have whisked all our ingredients and tidied up our incredible mess that we've made, we just need to pour the batter evenly into our cake tins that we prepared earlier. I feel like I'm on like Blue Peter. This is when I prepared earlier. What is the bet I'm also going to manage to make a mess of this? Oh my goodness, this bowl is so heavy.
Wow!
So we've got our batter in our baking tins, and now we just need to put them in the oven for 22 to 26 minutes. In you go, little one. I'll see you when you're ready. And now it's time to absolutely clean this kitchen because I have made a serious mess. So there is the cakes out of the oven. One has risen, as you can see, way more than the other one. So I'm really confused about why that happened, but it happened, so it's fine. But yes, there's the cakes out of the oven. Now we just need to leave them to cool before I can frost them and decorate them, which is my favourite part. Okay, so it's about an hour or so later now, and I've lifted the frosting that we made last night out of the refrigerator, and now I'm just going to whisk it up so that I can decorate the cakes. Okay, so the mix is hardened up like way more than I expected it to, so I think I might just put it in the microwave for 10 seconds just to loosen it up a little bit because it's really stiff. Okay, so we've got the mixture loosened up quite a bit. I actually had to microwave it for about a minute in total, so yeah, we'll give the whisking a go again. Okay, so here is our frosting mix. This is what it's currently looking like, and now it's time to add it to the cakes. So the only spatula I've got is actually a Halloween one, so that's what we're going to be using to frost our cakes. It'll do the job, whether it's Halloween or not. It looks incredible. Oh my goodness. This looks so much better than any like other cake I've ever made. The question is though, should I add like crushed nuts to the middle? So I've decided the answer to my question about crushed nuts is a yes. So I will admit, I really need to work on my frosting abilities, but other than that, it looks so good. And now I'm going to add the Snickers on top. So the plan was to chop up the Snickers and put them around the outside on the top, which is what I've done, but it's kind of a mess because the date caramel just hasn't like solidified properly in the fridge. It literally just squidged everywhere and the chocolate all broke, but anyway, I don't think it looks too bad considering, so I'll show you it now anyway. So yes, it looks like an absolute mess, but it looks delicious, which I suppose is what counts. But yeah, there is our finished Snickers chocolate cake, which is vegan, can also be gluten-free. It's not paleo because there's peanuts in it, but I think apart from the peanuts, it should be paleo. And yeah, we have a few Snickers left over as well, which is fun. There we have our vegan, gluten-free, if you want to make it that way, chocolate cake for my dad's birthday and for Easter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to head down below and give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe because I upload videos every Sunday and Wednesday. I love you guys so much and I will see you soon for a brand new vlog. Hopefully it won't be as much of a fail as this, but it'll taste good, so that's all that matters. Bye!